Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you my review of The Conjuring 2. And gonna keep this on a little bit quieter because I do have a new guest in my room right now, if you can kind of see her. Just adopted a dog, actually. She's very sweet, just still getting used to things around here. But luckily, it looks like I'll be able to control her during my videos most of the time anyway, we'll see. But yeah, so I did my review of the first Conjuring a little while ago. And overall, I thought that one was a fine film. Definitely it had good actors in it. Patrick Wilson, the actress playing Lorraine and such. But there's nothing like that blew me away about it. But it was still like I said, fine. If you want to hear more about my thoughts on the first one, of course, watch my video. And yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit different than Kitty, but anyway. So I'm not going to go too in detail this time just because, I kind of got a little bit of a semi-big distraction now. But the basic premise off of Wikipedia is the film follows the Warrens as they travel to Britain to assist the Hodgson family who are experiencing poltergeist activity at their Brimsdown Enfield Council House in 1977, which later became referred to as the Enfield Poltergeist. And so overall I actually like this one quite a bit. Like I said, the first one is a fine film, but I think I might have enjoyed this one a little bit more. And I like that we're continuing to follow the Warrens. I like that we have actual characters who are knowledgeable in this, not just like random victims, scrambling to survive. So I like them, and both Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga do a fine job. Patrick Wilson, Ed Warren's definitely my favorite character, though. I think I liked him in Watchmen. I like him in the Conjuring movies now. Maybe I should even watch Fargo, right? But he's just a very likable and solid actor, I think. And like a little minor gripe I had with the first movie is that the characters of their family they were trying to help, they were a little bit on the bland side as far as characters themselves go. But I felt like the Hodgson family, I got a little bit more attached to them. I think with the kids and such. I think they picked some better actors for this family here, and I think it worked a little bit better. And also in this one, they're a little bit more direct with sort of like the creepy, imagery, really. And James Wan directed this one again, by the way. And again, the camera work is really nice, cinematography and such. And it definitely still has that eerie, tone to it, which was one of the main things I appreciated about the first one, and it continues on to this one, I'm glad to say. But like I said, I think this one had even more creepy imagery. Like, of course, we have the nun in this one, then we have this Bill ghost going around as well as this etc. We'll just say. This way they shoot, like when the nun's in the background or something, most of the time it is pretty creepy. I like, again, the tone and atmosphere still in this movie, and they're a little bit more direct with showing what's there in a way, but they still don't really overexpose it too much. Like once in a while when you see the nun a little more directly and she goes demonic, or there's this thing called the I forget what it was called exactly. Trying to find the name for it right now, but there's basically this big, really tall form the demon took at one point in the movie, the Crooked Man or something like that. That was a little bit on the cheesy side for me. It didn't really help when it just stood up from the dog's form and started walking towards. At first it's a little bit weird, but it's not really scary to me. But other than that, I thought the nun and the Bill guy in the chair all the time, I thought that worked pretty well. And I liked them looking into the voice, as he was possessing and sort of reading or using the little girl to communicate what, his purpose and such. And fun fact, the guy who actually voiced Bill Wilkins actually, is Robert Atkin Downes. And he's voiced a few other things I've seen as well. Like he just did Batman the Killing Joke, a ton of Batman animated movies. And I should kind of list together, but he even voiced the Master on the Strain, when he was in his giant form, I think. So that's really cool that he voiced Bill in this. And of course, Lorraine throughout, she's still having like these visions and sort of like dreams of what may come. And particularly Ed's death, she sees him being impaled by like this tree or like wooden, like a stake type of thing. And I was a little bit worried about Ed throughout this movie, especially when he has to save the little girl from being forced to jump out the window. Makes it come close to him, like grabbing her, then but falling out too, and like being impaled on it. I was kind of worried about him, but at the same time, I didn't think they'd actually kill one of the Warrens because it was a case they solved and such. And even though, of course, they show things a little bit more upfront, of course, direct for a movie, they could still like swerve and kill one of them if they wanted to. I guess even though they've been pretty accurate to the events, as far as I know. I always expected more deaths in these movies, but really no one actually dies. That's like a little bit of a gripe, I guess, but again, they can't just kill a member of the family that didn't actually, die, in the actual investigation or something. But I guess, but if they wanted to, again, they could, just to make it bigger, I guess. But still, I thought, again, the tone, it really gives it a nice, feel to it, I think. Not a whole lot more to explain about the story, but I thought sort of the story with Bill Wilkins was a little bit interesting, and he was creepy, and he turns out to just be a puppet of this nun, or a valet character taking the form of this nun, especially to torment Lorraine, which I thought worked pretty good. And I even liked this, there's this other investigator that was with him. He is sort of like an older guy, mustache, glasses, and stuff like that, balding hair. At first he came off like just a greedy, sort of like fame-hungry bastard, but then he has this sort of nice little tragic backstory, with something that happened with his wife, I think. And the scene where he tells Lorraine about that, I thought was actually pretty touching. So again, I think they picked a lot of good actors for this family. Again, I did like Janet, or the main daughter anyway. Janet was the main daughter, yeah. I thought she did pretty well, and I even liked Margaret and stuff too. I just think they picked better actors for the family this time around. I cared a little bit more about them. And it's nice to see again, like the collection room and such. When they go back to that, of course, you see Annabelle in the background. Debating if I should watch Annabelle or not. I'm wondering how the nun spin-off's going to work. Like maybe this Demon Valak has used like the image of nuns to torment others. I'm sure it has. Again, using that faith to really bring the nightmares to people. I'm sure that's been done before, in history. So it would make sense that a nun had other things going on, or maybe another demon would take that form too. I don't know. But yeah. So overall, I think The Conjuring is actually a really good movie. Like I said, I gave the first one a B-. I forgot to upload a picture of the rating, but overall, I'd probably give this one a B+. I think. If not a B+, like a really strong B, like 86, 87, almost inching to a B+. I really like this one. I just think it had a little bit more to enjoy about it. It was a little bit more lively, even though the first one made sense to their first, like, they're at one of their basic investigations compared to other things, really. So yeah, overall, I think Conjuring 2 is a good time, even better than the first. I know they're doing Annabelle 2, and they're doing the Nun and stuff. I'd like to get like a regular Conjuring 3 as well. I think that would be good. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought about this one. And I know my Black Sails review is late. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get that out this week, but if I do, I'll certainly do a video. Still watching it, though. Just caught up with, new dog. And she's still right there. Her back end anyway. But, I'll try to keep up. I'm still watching it. I'm also watching, like, Orange is the New Black and Good Behavior and such. So, yeah. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, subscribe. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.